Hello guys, hope you're doing fine. Today I would like to give you some tips on Hearts of Iron 4, but would like to give you some guarantee on them. And how is that? Please allow me to explain. I am now currently playing as Poland, but with a very hard situation. I am playing with the Cossack King. The Cossack King is hated by the Soviet Union, so as soon as the Germans declare on you, the Soviets start justifying on you and you will have a war in two sides. The idea of this scenario is that you befriend Germany and you find the Soviets alone, but to make things harder, I didn't sit down siege to the Germans, not befriend them, and fighting both at the same time. So if you can survive this scenario, you can survive any other scenario, and we find the other scenarios quite simple in single player. So let me start. I took note of all the tips that you can use to achieve this same result. So let's start. Your first move should be saving 150 political power and hire this guy that gives you political power plus 15%, but in practice, since your base political power gain is 2, you will be gaining instead of 15% a net 30%. So you will be making 1.3, in this case 1.36 instead of 1.3. So in 1 year you recover your investment. Also, in some situations, you will start by building civilian factories and then military factor, but in this case, or for example in nationalized China, maybe it's better to start directly with military factors since the situation is quite desperate. But on the other hand, on Germany, it's better to build some civilian factory because you can choose when the war is going to start. Probably in most situations, the best second option is to change the economy law, since while spending 115, you are doing a big change in your economy. If you can, go for war economy, but you need to be fascist or communist, or go to partial mobilization. After the economy law, try to find out what else do you have at hand that improves your economy as early as possible. In this case, I have this guy that gives me consumer goods -5 is very good, and also +10 in military factories construction is also very good. At the same time, stability is as important as the ministers. I made a video specifically for this, how to skyrocket stability, and I explained there how to raid enemy parties, improve worker conditions, and also the spirit of the academy, political loyalty. Check this video. Production lines. About production lines, I would like to give you 5 tips. Tip number 1, never move a factory from one production line to another because you're going to lose production efficiency. Tip number 2, once you start a production line, leave it there until the end of the game for the same reason. Tip number 3, split your production line, like in this case, because it will give you more flexibility for the future. For example, in this case, I can change one production line to the new modern rifles by keeping the other production line at full efficiency. Tip number 4, and this is very important for Poland, don't hurry up into upgrading to 39 rifles. Probably for Russia it will work too. The most important thing for defending is that you fill the whole combat line with full combat width. That is about 4 to 6 divisions depending on the situations. But if I upgrade it to the new 39 rifles, I wouldn't have enough rifles to support all my infantry units. So I split, and that is why I split my factories, and I'm producing low quality rifles for most of my units that are defensive units, and some good new rifles for the elite units. Why new for the elite? Because the elite needs to have as much firepower as possible since they are going to break the enemy line. And last type of production line, and is related to incremental templates. I made a video of incremental template, but I'm going to add an extra thing here. For example, here I have my basic infantry template, but the tip here is put in the front line all your weapons. If you have an extra weapon, it should be in the front line, so don't have idle weapons in your storage. You can change your storage here. And as I said, I never change factories from one place to the other, but sometimes I have extra anti-air, extra anti-tank, and extra artillery. So I kind of solve that problem by using incremental templates, and let me show you. I have in this case two templates for defense, this one with 2 artillery and another one with 3 artillery. So when I have the 50 tanks to use this template, and this is another tip, use this template for defense, this small tank duplicates and even more the power of this unit in defense. They take half damage and do a lot more damage. And here I have 3 artillery and 2 in the other. So if I have a surplus of artillery, I use this template. If not, I use the other. So I keep changing. I select one unit and change to the corresponding template. Let's say that I have extra anti-tank, so I duplicate another template and add the anti-tank and modify some division as I needed. But the point here is that all your weapons should be in the front line. You can change the template of the unit from here. You select the unit and you change it here, or you select several units and you change it up here. It's the same. What about the templates? You should have great defensive templates, incremental as I mentioned, and also a great offensive template. With regarding to the defensive template, the most important part is that you add a medium tank with 4 upgrades in armor. That will give you enough armor for the whole division to obtain the benefit or armor bonus, and you can keep adding stuff according to what you have in surplus in your stock. With regard to the offensive template, you should have at least one spearhead. It's a combat width of 80, so you can place 4 divisions of 20 size, 2 of 40, and you should use a different template according to your situation. So I made a special video with the top 3 division templates for each situation. One of them move at 4 speed, the other move at 8, and the other moves at 12. Training troops takes a lot of time, and sometimes you need extra reinforcements all across the line at that very same moment, and you have the rifles from your ally that are sending shipments, so you just change your template and add an extra battalion. You can duplicate your template and you will be receiving battalions instantly in the front line. And of course, if you duplicate, you can change your template and modify just the templates in the desired front line. Sending volunteers is very important if you are facing of communists. You should send volunteers to every war. You can send volunteers to war at the same time, for example to Spain and China at the same time. That is great because it will give you a lot of XP that you need. It will level your leader. For example, this one get level 5 and level 5 also get an extra trait, Panzer Leader. The units are top level, they are super elite, 2 of them, and the rest are almost elite, and that will give me the extra edge I need to defeat Germany. Is critical. If these units were not elite and my general was not now level 5, I won't be able to break Germany fast enough. But check the video on the send volunteers and the comment that you will have far more tips regarding that matter that is a bit more complex. About commanding the units, I made a video on how to organize and do manual command and planning bonus, combat with, all of that. If you are going to defeat a bigger and stronger enemy, you should do manual command combined with planning bonus. Lot of pockets, try to grab skins of enemy units, doing pockets all the time. That will start weakening the enemy, and each pocket will be easier than the previous one. But this is a bit complex, so I did a video on how to manual command and use the planning bonus at the same time. Remember that if you move, you are going to be losing the planning bonus, so I use planning bonus on just one single province and attack that single province using the play command, the attack command. So I keep replanning all the time and keep advancing and making pockets. Another tip, don't hesitate to blow up your land, your factories, your supply depots. In this case, the Soviets are advancing, they have already declared, so I blew up all this province and started forming a weak defensive line behind. Since they will have no supply for a long time, it will take a while, and in the meanwhile I'm going to finish Germany. The button to blow up supplies, to blow up everything in the province is here. Now it's red because I already blew up the province. Let's say you select that province and you press this button, and that will blow up all the supply depots there, and will take a long time to repair. So this will give me a extra nice number of weeks to keep advancing on Germany before having to worry from the Soviets. A quick guide on Air Force: you should always have some fighters or heavy fighters to confront the enemy bombers. I didn't need to worry much about in this situation because I have the help of the Allies, but if you neglect this area you will have all your supply destroyed. And some tips: if you have few fighters than they have, you should go for interception. This will target their bombers but will avoid their fighters. And if you have more planes than they have, you can go for air superiority. That will give you a ground bonus in battles. Also, the radar is very important if you have at least 400 fighters, because it will increase your detection a lot and will help you avoid their fighters and find their bombers. Final tips: check my playlist. I have lots of extra tips there, but I didn't use them all in this situation, but on some other cases they will apply and they may apply. And if you have another tip that you would like to mention, please leave a comment below. And thanks for watching, and stay well, nice and great. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.